I'm Eric Sze of 8611, and today we are outside of an American institution, Delmonico's. Delmonico's is known as a steakhouse, but really it's a restaurant. I'm gonna hit every single item on the menu. I brought my great friend, Chef Ed Szymanski of Dame and Lords. All right, let's get to it. I'm very, very excited. This also means we have to behave a little bit because it's so classy.
If we're capable of doing that.
Delmonico's, the first fine dining restaurant in America, has one of the biggest wine cellars in America, which you're a massive wine guy.
Yeah, if the budget stretches it to it, I'll try and get down there and sneak a few bottles.
And they also invented a bunch of dishes like the baked Alaska.
Chicken a la king,
I've never had
lobster Newburgh, and Delmonico steak.
Yeah.
There are some iffy claims. They maybe claim they invented a few more things than they really did, but either way, historic restaurant, awesome to have a chance to eat everything all at once.
Before we dive in, we gotta establish some ground rules. We need to order one of everything off the menu. We can only take one bite of everything. The order of which we frolic with these dishes, it's completely up to us.
Up to us.
And at the very end, we're gonna give out awards to the best dishes.
Let's do it.
Round one, raw and cold. Let's go. First round.
Okay.
Raw and cold. Everything's here. I have a dirty martini here with gin and 2 blue cheese olives.
Dry gin for me.
Magnificent spread.
I think it's enough.
I think we start with the caviar. These are potato chips that they make in-house, cooked slowly, flattened. Really fancy. This is probably at least $25.
This is an obscenely decadent thing.
I'm just trying to get you full so you tap out before me.
Yeah, it's like
it really is
one bite, but
personal.
it doesn't specify how big the bite. Chin chin.
Chin chin. Cheers, sir.
That's really good caviar.
I don't eat caviar a lot. That's some good caviar.
If you did eat caviar a lot, you wouldn't say it on camera, though. That would be obnoxious. We can only have one bite? I want another bite. What do you want to do next?
Let's do the seafood plateau. Interesting name, seafood plateau.
Fancy word for tower. On the bottom, these Kumamoto oysters.
What sauce are you going with?
Just a little lemon. I want to taste the oyster.
I'm not even going to go with lemon.
Okay.
All right, cheers, sir.
Salud.
Super meaty. This is the hamachi tartare. Very fresh, delicious.
Top tower.
Prawns? Here's the thing, I love shrimp cocktail. I'm just not in that tax bracket to order it at restaurants.
No, I'm not normally a cocktail sauce guy. I don't love this American affinity to put ketchup in everything, but this is very good.
So the shrimp is cooked in dashi with a lot of shallots, dill, and peppercorns. It's a very unique shrimp cocktail. And it's also straight. Why is that?
You really stick a metal skewer in it when you cook it so it doesn't curl.
Okay. So lobster tail and lobster claw. They've very kindly separated the segments of the lobster tail.
Should we have the claw?
We should. Let's see.
We should come here, not on camera sometime, and eat more than one bite of everything. This is like the best way to start a meal.
We already had these, but we're gonna have to take another bite because we play by the rules.
That's a great shrimp.
Just as good.
Yeah.
I actually really wanted a second one.
And another oyster for you? Very good.
Just as good as the first time. So the yellowtail is cured in kombu for a day, and it's served with an avocado puree, and it's rolled in this crispy rice pearl. All right.
Delicious. And very complex. Like you were pointing out, this is not just a steakhouse. This food is quite ambitious. Very strong across the board. It's a kind of cheating to say the caviar, because of course that's amazing. I think the crudo surprised me.
I'm gonna say the caviar. Very strong start. I am still very, very hungry.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
famished, actually. Next up, we have the appetizers. We got some
We
champagne.
are drinking some Paul Roger, Cuvée Winston Churchill, 1986. I'm kidding. I wish we were. We're drinking some Bruno Paillard champagne, which will be very refreshing and delicious. Salud.
Cheers.
Cheers to us.
Like true gentlemen at a fine steakhouse.
We have our appetizers here. We're still pretty hungry.
I say we go with the Caesar first.
Apparently they paint every leaf in the kitchen with a dressing. So I feel bad for the guy on Garde Manger who has to do that.
Safe to say, there's so much seafood in this Caesar salad, it's a Caesar salad.
Did you think of these last night?
Little gem for Caesar salad is just so much better than romaine.
Yeah, it needs to be something really crunchy. Like romaine can be a little too leafy. This is a wedge salad, which they claim to have invented here. Hey, you want a huge bite of this? Little
Thank you, sir.
tomato.
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 I want everything in one bite. It's so hard to get a salad to have the textural sort of melody that this has. This might be one of the best wedge salads.
Textural
I've
melody. What a phrase.
Had. We're picking up all day, okay?
Burrata.
Beautiful composed bite.
That's a posh caprese salad. Bacon next?
The bacon is sous vide and then braised, and it's glazed with a maple syrup dressing that's been emulsified with foie gras.
The foie is great. The bacon itself is very fatty to begin with. This is just luxury.
Crab cakes.
Crab cake, yeah.
This is the fanciest crab cake I've ever seen
Yeah.
in my entire life. It's wrapped in, what is this, like the fanciest julienne potatoes.
It's starting to feel like we're having a real lunch now.
It's like a hash brown wrapped outside
Kind of the
a
ideal crab cake, really.
crab cake. Is this one bite?
That's very good. That one's like, I would like to go back in for another bite of that now. That's very tasty. The crispy potato on the outside, and then mustard coming through in that tartar sauce. Herbiness as well from the parsley oil and the parsley powder. That's really good.
You really shouldn't be fooled by the presentation of this dish. Tastes like some grandma in Maryland made it for you.
For me, this one's kind of easy. Like, I think the crab cake takes the cake, if you will.
I gotta go with the wedge salad, man.
Okay.
That bite with the tomato, with the lettuce, and the blue cheese, and the onions.
This round is done. Next round, steaks.
We have the first 3 steaks here, and there's a total of 8. All the steaks, they're based in dry aged beef fat, a little bit of brown butter, and a little bit of rendered duck fat. Here we have the pièce de résistance.
Yeah, pièce
Pièce.
de résistance.
Okay, I'm not even gonna try.
Vive la France.
This is the centerpiece, the Delmonico.
That's right.
So it's essentially a ribeye that's wet aged and seared to perfection, served with crispy shallots. And in terms of sauces, we have the blue cheese sauce. The black garlic butter is seasoned with white shoyu. We have their take on the au poivre, which is Sichuan peppercorn sauce. And here we have the jus. Takes a whole day to just boil down, and the second day they season it with shallots and a little bit of soy sauce. This is the spicy kosher butter. It's got pickled peppers inside and balanced with a teriyaki glaze.
We are drinking a bottle of Christophe Roumier Musigny from 1993, my birth year.
My birth year too.
There you go.
Congrats. Well, it's just fermented grapes to me.
These are all of my favorite wines that I could never afford to drink, so I'm pretending that they're in our glass.
I think it would be a crime if we didn't start with the Delmonico.
Yeah, oh, I agree.
This
Nicely
looks
cooked.
like a nice medium rare.
I want this spinalis cap here. Some people return ribeyes for being too fatty, but they're just wrong. For me, this is the best part of the animal, this like little bit up top here.
I'm going to fold a little bit of these fried shallots because somebody worked very, very hard for these fried shallots. Come on.
So good you would name a restaurant after it, perhaps. That's delicious.
That's peak ribeye. I mean, it's not dry aged, it's very simple.
The lore is that the Delmonico steak sort of means butcher's cut and was, at a certain point in time, whatever cut they had on hand they needed to sell that day, and they would market it as the house steak. Same way that modern steakhouses will call it a butcher's cut or a chef's cut, something like that. And they called it the Delmonico's cut. The restaurant was so popular throughout the 19th century that other restaurants started imitating this and would put a Delmonico steak on their menu, even though they had no tie to the Delmonico family. And eventually, like throughout the course of history, it settled on being this cut, the wet-aged, boneless ribeye from the chuck end.
Next on, we're gonna try the Delmonico sans spinalis dorsi. Just the eye of the Delmonico. The Delmonico is a ribeye, right? And a ribeye is comprised of the eye and also the spinalis dorsi.
That's right.
If you want a leaner cut, but you don't want the filet mignon, this is your cut.
Filet mignon for people with a little more character.
I'm gonna do the spicy kosher butter.
Okay, I'll do the black garlic one then.
All right? Not gonna waste. Wow. I'm not gonna say I prefer it over the regular Delmonico, but I will say that it took me by surprise. I mean, the cook was just perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Dry aged ribeye, dry aged for 30 plus days.
Even though this is the same cut
Yeah.
as the Delmonico, different farm, different preparation too, different product. You know, one bite only thing means I gotta go for
Oh,
this
you
one.
picked the right one.
Yeah, look how juicy it is. Look, you can see the fat dripping off this. This is just like a competitive eating challenge. I'm gonna dip it in the au poivre.
I'm gonna do the shallot jus.
You can tell whoever's making these sauces knows what they're doing. Very good flavor and much more intensity. Anyone who wants to study in dry versus wet aging, it's very obvious to me from this. Like, this tastes like funk and blue cheese and aged beef. This tastes fresh. It's delicious, but it tastes like fresher beef. It's very tender, and that's part of what the wet aging process does. Without developing the funk, it tenderizes the meat. Dry aging does both.
That is the first 3 steaks. We have 5 more to go. We're not done. We're just gonna clear these. We are still in the steaks. I think the steaks are a little bit higher this round.
We are drinking some Chateau Margaux 1982.
For this mini round, we should focus on going leanest to most fatty. So we're gonna start with the filet mignon.
How big of a bite do you want?
I could take a big bite of filet.
You would order the filet if you wanted a lean cut of beef. So traditionally, old school restaurants, you would serve the fatty beef without a lot of sauce or with a lean sauce like an au jus or something like that. And you'd serve the lean cut of beef with a rich sauce. Serve this in a cream sauce or something with fat emulsified into the sauce. Nowadays, they finish cattle with so much corn at the end of their life that even the filet mignon can be pretty rich.
Okay. If it's very dry, I'm not gonna be able to eat this whole thing in one bite.
They say you should be able to cut filet mignon with a spoon.
Let's see, shall we?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you see, that's good. That is a really good filet steak.
How
I'm
did
not
you
just
down
saying
that
that
so
because
fast?
the staff are all looking at me. Also very well seasoned, the flaky salt on top is great, incredibly tender, but perfectly charred and well cooked too. If you overcook or undercook a filet, no good.
Next up, New York strip. And mind you, all of these steaks are dry aged except for the Wagyu.
The muscle that we call the New York strip is the same as the eye of the ribeye, just from further back on the calf. So it should be tender and fatty and delicious.
Oh yeah.
That's very good.
I actually might prefer New York strips over ribeye. I know it's the same muscle.
Well, same muscle, but different part of the muscle,
Exactly.
right? So different
like
flavor.
further down, A5 Miyazaki, Wagyu. Wagyu means henyo, which means Japanese cow. Miyazaki is where they produced it. A5 is the ranking of the cow. This steak actually takes a little bit longer to cook because they have to cook it slowly to A, not overcook it, and B, render out most of the fat. Or else you'll just be eating like a cube of tallow. Very price cut, very expensive, hence the miniature portion, but we won't fault them for that. I'm
Just
eyeing
remind
this
you
piece.
that you said you could have 34 ounces of steak, so that's 10 of these.
First of all, I said 34 ounces of steak, not A5 Miyazaki, okay?
This is like the 4th shot of whiskey at 2 in the morning at the bar. You know it's a bad idea, but it feels so right at the time. It's just like clogging my arteries as it goes down.
Each bite is like somebody shooting a water gun of beef fat in your palate.
I think I have to go for a jog right now. This is like exercise in refinement. It's very delicate. In the like flavor profile, it's just fat and beef. Whereas this tastes like smoke and char and peppers, and there's like all this sauce that's sitting on the bottom of the plate too. It's a real privilege to be able to do this side by side, because you wouldn't frequently have a chance to do that. All right, we've had 6 steaks, we got 2 to go. We have Côte de Boeuf and a porterhouse. And in our glass, they very generously poured us Domaine de la Romane Conti La Tâche from 1990. I think we might have to break the rule of the porterhouse, because the magic of the porterhouse is the 2 different muscles on both sides of the bone. You have the filet on one side, and you have the strip on the other side.
This is the New York strip, right? Mm-hmm. And then we will take the filet.
And this is very difficult technically to cook the 2 muscles to the same temperature.
New York strip, filet mignon. I'm not sure how you can top that. Because the New York strip is leaner, the filet mignon is obviously a little bit more tender. So when you're biting down, there's that contrast of squishy and tender. It just constantly is flowing through, and every bite of the New York strip actually gushes a little bit of juice. So your palate is always lubricated.
I feel like my body temperature has risen like 5 degrees in the last few minutes throughout the steak course.
I would imagine...
That's a Côte de Boeuf, all right.
I would imagine you flip open a dictionary, you look up Côte de Boeuf, and this photo pops up.
Yeah. Côte de Boeuf is a ribeye, too. This is Australian Wagyu. The beef is delicious. It's not as fatty as that Japanese Wagyu we just had, because imagine a 36-ounce portion of that. Eric, you said 34 ounces. Please, take it away. Eat the whole thing.
At 11 a.m. today, I could have put this away.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
And have space for sides and dessert.
On that note, which slice would you like me to serve you?
Actually, I think we should start with the bone.
Okay.
And we should share this bone.
Okay. It's the most romantic thing I've ever done. That's really good. So fatty, it's glistening. You can tell it's pretty raw towards the top, but it's the best kind of beef. All right, let's get a slice too. The cook is definitely different. Like, it's notably less cooked than some of the other steaks. My assumption here is that's to showcase the fattiness of the Australian Wagyu versus the domestic beef. You can see the shine on the product. And again, like, beautifully rested, nothing on the plate beneath it.
So out of the 8 steaks, which I know seems like a century ago, which one was your favorite?
The most surprising to me was the filet. That was really a lot better than I thought it would be. It's hard to beat that first Delmonico. There's a reason the restaurant's named after that.
I gotta say, my #1 steak, dry aged ribeye. There's something about dry aging a piece of ribeye where that funk completely comes through when it's perfectly cooked. The fat in the center between the longissimus and the spinalis is rendered just enough where it's edible and it's not a chewy flab of bullshit fat. They achieved it. They achieved it.
That's it for the steaks. Coming up next are the sides. Eric, how you feeling?
I feel like I could use another 2 steaks. I am not staked out. Hand-cooked fries.
Chips.
Of course, the Brit says chips. And this is a spicy mustard aioli.
You know we're in a fancy place if they serve them in like a posh little basket. British chip shop serve them in newspapers.
Right.
Not in Kansas no more.
Contrast.
Very good. Good chips, well seasoned, nice and crunchy.
He's not gonna stop calling it chips. Let's move on. Grilled asparagus. This asparagus is, to me, incredible.
That's great, yeah.
It checks all the boxes of what I'm looking for in a summer barbecue, right? It has a char flavor. It's tender. It's fresh. A little bit of olive oil to garnish.
Broccoli raw. It's really tasty. Well cooked. The Aleppo pepper on top's a nice hit of spice. Very bitter vegetable. So it worked well to cut the foil of some of the richer meat dishes we just ate. Very tasty.
Plum puree. It's potato and a lot of butter.
You're gonna do a quenelle? No.
Not exactly the best. We're getting there, right? You got it, sir.
Just as Jean Robuchon intended. Now it feels rude to eat it, giving me a piece of art. Very good, like good technique happening in that kitchen.
Wild mushrooms.
We had a crazy night last night.
That was an underrated joke. All right. That tastes like 3-cup mushrooms from Taiwan.
The sesame flavor here is quite strong too. Like, it's fun to have a side that's non-conventional.
Yeah, I would order that.
Yeah.
Let's do the hash brown. It's cooked with a lot of butter, a lot of duck fat, and a lot of potatoes. It looks very daunting, and it's served with a dollop of creme fraiche. It has a shallot gem on the bottom.
I want them to show my kitchen team how to do quenelles. That's a very nice shape and creamy on the inside.
Oh yeah. The shallot jam. That's light sweetness, and it's just a hint of it. It really brings everything together.
Yeah, that's great. It's delicious.
Right? I would order this hash brown every single time.
Yeah,
I think
that's really good.
I have a winner for this round.
We haven't tried the spinach yet.
It's spinach, bro.
It's green.
All right, let's eat it.
That's good. Really good.
That's fantastic.
Initially, we turned our noses up at this, but now after tasting it, you would order this, right?
I would definitely order this.
If I have to pick one, I say the hash brown.
There we go. We can finally agree on something.
We've had our sides. Let's go to our entrees.
Let's do it. We have our entrees. These are the entrees that are not steak.
Let's get the stuff that they didn't invent out the way first.
Lamb chops, and on the side here, it's homemade yogurt that's been hung for about a day or so, and it's combined with a caramel so that it's like a caramelized yogurt. There's pistachio powder in these lamb chops. Unfortunately, my dining companion has a severe allergy to nuts.
This'll kill me.
So I will do the honors and dip it in the yogurt, as you might say. That's fantastic. Impeccable cook. And the caramel actually really does come through. Yogurt tends to like overpower and be a little bit too rich sometimes, especially paired with lamb, but this just cuts it. It retains that tang perfectly. Shall we do the wild mushroom risotto?
Risotto, let's do it.
Looks like a pretty classic risotto to me.
Mushroomy, truffly.
Sweet too.
That's good. Let's do the pasta next. That's good.
If your toddler came, she doesn't really want steak, you get a bowl of this. You
This is good, comforting.
Nothing wrong with it.
Some salmon?
Let's do it. Fantastic cook on it. Dover sole. It's like a Sunday breakfast.
It's buttery.
Yeah, the brown butter it shines.
It's swimming in a pool of it.
But then it never gets too much, right? Because it's still so meaty.
Chicken a la king.
So they invented this dish. Little shell pasta. Looks like bacon, little asparagus, little peas.
Yeah. This is like a school lunch.
Very fancy TV dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
In my opinion. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Brilliantly executed chicken dish, if I may say so. It's very much goes by everything you can buy in a can.
Yes.
Except for the chicken.
You might be onto something there. Like, that might be where all this canned mushrooms, canned tomatoes, canned asparagus, canned peas.
We are on to the final entree, the lobster Newburg. The lore is that it was a fisherman called Wenberg who invented it, brought it to Delmonico's, but they got into a massive fight. The owners renamed it Lobster Newburg. Very chefy presentation again, served with a side of caramelized gnocchis.
That's a dish worthy of the name.
It's like a steamed lobster plus lobster sashimi in one, with a nice
That's like
creamy
a
sauce.
creamy, tomato-driven spicy sauce. You want to try some of these gnocchis?
Let's do it. I don't normally order lobster when I go out. Same thing as shrimp cocktail, just not in that tax bracket.
Sure.
But I would save up just to order this.
Yeah, this is really good.
It's delicious.
What are your favorites of this round?
No question, the lobster.
Lobster? I think you're right, yeah.
This has the delicate layers and the variety of texture paired with the gnocchi. It's a perfect lobster dish in my opinion. We are finally ready for the grand finale, desserts.
How are you feeling?
My meat sweats are hitting now. It's a delayed hit, but I am feeling it.
You look a little glazed over, but these should reinvigorate us.
I'm ready for a nap.
Some frozen things.
A little sugar high wouldn't hurt right now. How are you feeling?
I'm ready to go for a jog.
Mango sorbet, raspberry sorbet. All of this is made in-house, under love.
Delicious. Tastes like raspberries.
Come on.
It's good. That's refreshing. And then some mango.
One of the best mango sorbets I've had.
Delicious.
Typically mango in the States is a little bit too artificial. This one you can taste it's the real deal.
Ice creams next.
Vanilla and chocolate?
Yeah.
Sweeter than most vanillas you'll find in your store-bought ice creams. Not in a bad way.
Yeah.
In a, that's very refreshing after 45 ounces of steak.
Chocolate?
It's like they took milk chocolate and turned it into ice cream.
You have the hazelnut one, let me know how
All
it
right.
is. I won't have that one either. That's why it's near you, because of the nuts.
Again, super smooth. Just crazy decadent.
That's good.
That's my favorite.
Am I missing out on something?
That's my favorite.
You want to try this cheesecake? Yuzu and blueberry and sesame. Nice and light. Not a huge portion, which I appreciate.
I don't know if it's light, buddy. It's just overtaking my mouth. But, as all cheesecakes should, very yuzu forward.
Coconut cream pie.
Shall we try the ice cream first?
Yeah.
Passion fruit. Cuts like a passion fruit ice cream.
Tart and tangy. Let's go for it.
All right. And you need that passion fruit ice cream. That acidity really brings it over the top. That's a fantastic dessert. Chocolate cake is the vanilla ice cream. Shall we dig in?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's a great chocolate cake.
Come on. What is in this chocolate cake? It is not just a chocolate cake. A blackcurrant liqueur in this cake. So it gives it that nuttiness without bringing too much alcohol into your palate. It is creamy. It's very, very creamy. But paired with that vanilla ice cream, even though it's more cream, it blends together.
But you have the best for last. You have this baked Alaska in front of you, and it's the only dish we've had that is served on the Delmonico's plate. Also invented here, walnut cake, apricot jam, meringue around the outside, set on fire.
They pour black rum all over it, and then everything lights on fire, and it's super showy. Everybody in the dining room is very jealous that you got one.
This one will kill me because of the walnuts, but you will dig in. You can eat both
Or for me.
You can eat my bite.
You have the cake, and you have the gelato, and then you have the meringue.
How is it?
It's good.
You look happy.
The banana and the apricot melds together, and then you have this sort of sponginess, but also a little bit of ice crystally texture from the gelato, and everything just homogenizes in your mouth. I'm impressed by the restaurant. I'm also impressed by us because it seems like we're doing okay.
I think the chocolate cake is the winner for me.
I might have to go with the baked Alaska, but it's unfair. I can't make the executive decision.
It's famous for a reason.
So we're gonna clear the table, and we're gonna be back. We're gonna figure out our awards. We've had a bite of everything on the menu. We feel okay. We're still alive.
Yeah, we feel good.
We can actually have another dinner after. We have to decide our awards.
Okay.
So we have the star, which is the best dish overall. Every time you're coming here, you're ordering this. The second is the return. You've been here before. You know what the star dish is, but what is something that you will keep getting? The third one is the repeat. You come here once a week. What are you getting that other people are not?
I think your doctor's advice is to not come here once a week.
Doctors be damned.
If you ignore that, then
yes.
Okay.
What is something that you tried, you're so blown away, defeated all your expectations, that one dish that took you by surprise?
Delmonico's Steakhouse, known as the first American fine dining restaurant. Low-key, it's a potato restaurant. Some of the best dishes we've had have been potato focused. That hash brown and that crab cake. That crab cake I see you, it's better than most other crab cakes. That's the kind of thing I would come and eat once a week.
If I was sitting at the bar by myself and crushing that crab cake, it'd be a good sight.
Yeah.
I would not be ashamed of it. I think he has a point. The repeat is the crab cake. I could not agree more. The shoestring fries wrapped around the crab cake itself and the presentation, right? I'm curious to hear about your return because the lobster Newburg is fantastic.
Yeah.
It probably is one of the best bites today.
That was the thing that I said, well, that's the best version of that. This is the place to get it.
So the return is the lobster Newburg.
I couldn't come here and not have that.
What is your star?
Maybe it's the law, maybe it's where we're sitting, maybe it's the walls around us, but like if I'm coming here one time in my life, I'm ordering a Delmonico steak. I don't think you can come to Delmonico's and not do that. It
Okay.
may not be the greatest steak you've ever had. It may not be the most complex cut. We may prefer dry aging to wet aging, but there's steak houses around the country that have a Delmonico steak on their menu, and we're sitting in the place that it was invented. If you're coming here once, that's what I'm getting.
I'm voting for the hash brown.
Yeah. This is where the exercise is a little tricky, because you really need both of those things.
I get your allure. I get the entire atmosphere. You're at Delmonico.
Yeah.
It's the name steak, but man, we're chefs, man.
You want the hash
That
brown?
hash brown was fantastic.
It
It's
was.
the best
No
hash brown
argument.
I've ever had.
We're skipping a lot of things here. Remember those appetizers? It wasn't just the crab cake that was great. Like those shrimp were really well cooked, the lobster,
Yes.
the raw, the caviar was great. We had a lot of good food today. Hey, I don't think that's the
Duck
wrong
fat and
answer.
butter.
Here. You pick yours.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. As luck will have it, the star is the Delmonico steak, but order the hash browns. There you have it. That is one of everything at Delmonico Steakhouse. Carnivore's dream.
That was a huge meal. I wonder what the bill was.
I'll put my card down first. You pay me back with Zelle later.